The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown.
Ну это маркетинг. Они делают это специально, чтобы разогреть этот бой. Ну, у людей уже есть интерес к этому. Значит, они делают правильно, и мы будем бороться за первое место в рейтинге.
He's a bigger guy. So, you know, we'll see how Islam, how he bulks up and how he looks. He looks a lot bigger than what I remember. I used to train with him forever. So, I mean, he's definitely grown, you know. We'll see how he carries the weight.
I don't know if he does it off the back of Jack, and I love Jack. But I don't know if beating a shiny new champion.
Ilia Topuria, now sitting at the top of the UFC pound-for-pound list, just gave some unexpected advice to Della on how to take down Islam Makhachev, and fans did not see this one coming. While Topuria is currently focused on his own upcoming title defense against Charles Oliveira, he still seems to have his sights set on Islam. Even though the two didn't get to face off when Islam held the lightweight belt, Topuria hasn't let go of that matchup in his mind.
If you beat someone like him, of course the prize is bigger. It's like, if you want to become the world champion in the featherweight division, you have to beat Alexander Volkanovski, because he dominates everyone in the division. So this is why I wanted to face Islam. But anyways, he moved up, he took his own path, and I'm doing.
So now that he's no longer in the lightweight title picture, do you still want that fight against Islam, or will it not bother you if you never fight him?
It doesn't bother me if I never fight him. If the UFC wants it, I always gonna accept it. I never choose my opponents. I never say, like, against him yes and with him no. It's like, whoever is in front of me, I don't care.
When he was asked about Della chances against Islam during UFC 317 Fight Week, Topuria shared what he believes could be the key to beating Makhachev. His advice was pretty simple but powerful: work those straight body shots. Topuria explained that attacking Islam's body with straight punches can throw off his timing and slow down his takedown attempts. Since Della is known for his striking, Topuria thinks that approach could actually frustrate Islam's wrestling-heavy style.
The advice, like, he has to work the straight body shots, because that takes away the intentions of the takedown. If he works with the straight body shots, he's gonna stop his intentions of the takedowns. And he's doing a great job in striking. I like how he fights.
Islam, who is now stepping up to welterweight, had to give up his lightweight belt in the process. That opened the door for Topuria to take over the lightweight division, and he did just that. With a string of impressive wins, Ilia became the new pound-for-pound king in the UFC, but Islam doesn't seem too thrilled about it. He recently said that this whole pound-for-pound ranking change is more about marketing than anything else. According to him, it's just the UFC's way of hyping up future fights.
Что ты думаешь по поводу того, что тебя сместили внезапно с первой строчки pound for pound?
Ну это маркетинг. Они делают это специально, чтобы разогреть этот бой. Ну, у людей уже есть интерес к этому. Значит, они делают правильно, и мы будем бороться за первое место в рейтинге.
Meanwhile, Islam's upcoming bout with Della is expected to go down in November, and it's being billed as a huge moment. Islam even said this fight will decide who really deserves to be called the best in the world. He's clearly aiming to get that pound-for-pound top spot back, and beating someone like JDM could help his case.
I know you talked a little bit about Jack. What do you think he's going to be a hard fight for you? I know he said he wants to get one back for Alexander Volkanovski here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard fight. Honestly, it's gonna be. I saw his fight against Bilal. He's good, man. He is good. When he beginning fighting in UFC, he had a problem with the wrestling, but now he's improved, because I see training a lot with the wrestlers, with the grapplers, and that's why he's a champion right now, and he's good everywhere. But we will see who is the best fighter in the world.
But before Islam gets there, Ilia still has some business to take care of in the lightweight division. There's talk about him defending his title against someone like Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje, or Arman Tsarukyan. One of those fights might happen before the end of the year, possibly even before the big Islam versus JDM showdown. Ilia said he'd even be down to fight Islam at a future UFC event in Washington, D.C. if the timing works out.
You versus Islam on the White House card would be insane. Would you want to fight at the White House, or?
Why not? I would love to fight in front of the United States of America.
Yeah.
I would love it. We'll see what's
But it's
gonna
a year
happen.
away, right?
It's a year away.
That could be perfect timing for you and Islam, though. What weight would that go down at now, though?
Like, what do you mean? When
Like
it could happen?
what weight class? Yeah.
I don't care with him.
He couldn't come back down to 155.
Once you try to go up, you never want to come back.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's hell, right?
it's hell.
Yeah.
It's hell. I had to go through hell when I was cutting the weight in 145.
Meanwhile, other people in the fight game are keeping a close eye on Islam's move up in weight. Former UFC middleweight champ Luke Rockhold, who used to train with Islam, had some interesting things to say. Rockhold noticed that Islam looks a lot bigger now and thinks his days at lightweight are probably done. He believes the fight with Della will be very tough for Islam, especially since JDM isn't a joke when it comes to wrestling defense. But Rockhold also pointed out that it's still going to be a classic matchup of lifelong wrestler versus elite striker.
That's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think those are my three favorite fighters in the UFC right now. We go Islam, Topuria, and JDM. JDM, he's fun to watch. So, I mean, that's going to be a great fight. You know, he's no slouch at wrestling, but you have a guy that's wrestled his whole life and grappled his whole life versus JDM, who's kind of like, he's secondary on that, but, you know, you never know. He's a bigger guy. So, you know, we'll see how Islam, how he bulks up and how he looks. He looks a lot bigger than what I remember. I used to train with him forever. So, I mean, he's definitely grown. You know, we'll see how he carries the weight.
Another big name who chimed in is Dustin Poirier. He's already been in the cage with Islam and knows just how dominant his wrestling can be. Poirier said that if Islam gets the takedowns, he's likely going to win. But if Jack Della can stop those takedowns, his size and boxing could really start to wear on Islam and give him trouble in the later rounds. Basically, if the fight stays on the feet, it could be a problem for the Dagestani star.
He's a big guy. I think he's going to fill into that weight. He's a really big 155er. So I think his lifestyle outside of training camp is going to be a little more comfortable, and he'll fill into that weight class no problem. He's going to be, he could be champion there for sure.
How do you think he does against JDM?
I think the beginning of the fight's going to tell the story, like how well JDM does at getting up, how well JDM does at keeping Islam off of his feet, off of his legs, off of the cage. It's tough to call that because JDM's a big guy, athletic. I'm excited about that. A lot of fun fights in the future.
One of the more surprising takes came from JDM's coach, Craig Jones. Jones says the UFC doesn't really like him because of his involvement with a rival grappling promotion, but at the same time, he believes the UFC secretly wants him to help take out fighters like Islam. He even joked that they might not like him, but they like Dagestani wrestlers even less, so they're willing to let it slide. Jones helped Della prepare for his fight against Belal Muhammad and said that his guy is fully capable of stopping Islam too. According to him, he's already helped the UFC by getting rid of Belal, and now he's ready to help take out Islam next.
I mean, the big picture is like, UFC hates me.
You think so?
But they also hate Dagestani wrestlers, and Jack Della is fighting Islam Makhachev, so it's a catch-22. They're like, fuck, we hate this guy, but we hate these wrestlers as well. So I think they want me. I helped them get rid of Belal. Like, hold on a bit longer, guys. We'll get rid of Islam Makhachev for you.
UFC commentator Laura Sanko seems to agree that Jones might be a big part of the equation. She said that after seeing what Jones worked on with Della for UFC 315, it was clear that his game plan worked perfectly. Everything he showed her in private actually played out in the fight. She's now fully on board with the idea that Jones might be the anti-Dagestani wrestling coach that could break down the wrestling-heavy style fighters like Islam are known for.
But no, it was really fun, and he showed me a handful of things that he was working on with Jack, because I asked him, I was like, you know, I'm not going to tell anybody, I'm not calling the fight, so can you show me? And he did. And man, each and every single one of them played out in the fight. So I'm definitely on board with the idea that Craig Jones is the key, the anti-Dagestani wrestling key.
Still, Sanko isn't totally sure that beating Della Maddalena would be enough for Islam to reclaim that #1 pound-for-pound spot. She pointed out that while Islam has defended his titles impressively, Topuria's recent streak of knockouts and exciting finishes is just as important when it comes to these rankings. And beating someone new like Jack might not hold the same weight as taking out a legend like Charles Oliveira.
I don't know if he does it off the back of Jack, and I love Jack, but I don't know if beating a shiny new champion is the same thing as beating a legend and a former champion like Charles Oliveira. That's a tough one because Charles didn't have the belt.
Even Israel Adesanya got in on the conversation. He had a pretty bold prediction about the Islam versus Della Maddalena fight. He said he believes Della Maddalena's coach when he says Islam is getting knocked out. Adesanya trusts the game plan and thinks that once JDM gets back to his feet in any scramble, he'll have the edge. He just doesn't think Islam can handle that level of pressure and speed in the exchanges.
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's
even
good
watching
scrambles.
him with Bilal as well and Gilbert Burns, his scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, oh, I'm standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well. He's solid. So I really
Dense,
think,
man, just dense.
Dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just a weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man, good.
So, looking at all this, one thing is clear. This fight between Islam and Jack Della Maddalena is way bigger than just another welterweight clash. It's got pound-for-pound rankings, division legacy, and even personal coaching rivalries all wrapped into one.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is going to find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's going to be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So, I mean, he is, you know, he's the #2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the #2 pound for pound in the world for a reason, so you got to respect that. But, you know, don't sleep on Jack. I think it's going to be a tough and fun fight.
Topuria's advice may seem simple, but coming from someone who studied Islam closely and nearly got that fight himself, it's worth paying attention to. His tip about going to the body to mess with Islam's takedown rhythm could be exactly what Della Maddalena needs to make the difference.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for. Wow, that's impressive. You know, I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Bilal.
Bilal has the best cardio in MMA, but Bilal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique. Not same. Very good, very aggressive. Bilal never stops a dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above.
As Islam bulks up and prepares for life at welterweight, he's going to face new challenges, and Jack Della Maddalena might just be his first real test in the new weight class. Whether it's Topuria's strategy, Craig Jones's coaching, or Della's own sharp boxing that makes the difference, everyone's waiting to see if the Dagestani star can keep dominating, or if the new wave is finally ready to take over.
His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
Whatever happens, the road to the top of the pound-for-pound list is heating up, and with all these big names weighing in, from Topuria to Rockhold to Adesanya, it's clear this fight has everyone talking. Will Islam prove he still belongs at the top, or will Jack Della Maddalena shock the world and ruin the comeback? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, this fight's gonna be a war, and no matter who comes out on top, it's gonna shake up the UFC like never before. The countdown is on. Who you got, Islam or Jack? Drop your predictions in the comments, smash that like button if you're hyped, and make sure to subscribe for all the latest fight talk. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss a second of the action, only on Ring Rivalry. This is more than just a fight, it's a battle for legacy, pride, and the pound for pound crown. You won't want to miss what's coming next on Ring Rivalry.